Hey, it's been a little while, hasn't it? Um, I think it's been close to about a month since I made a YouTube video. Um, I know I've mentioned this a lot before, so I'll try not to sound too redundant, but I don't actually have an upload schedule for my channel. I know a lot of people do, and they like to pump out content really fast. I don't enjoy that, so that's not what I will be doing. I'd much prefer to make things that I enjoy, because I like to share those things better. So that's just the way it is. The very, very short answer is that I still have a life outside of my YouTube videos and outside of my passion for building Legos. I just recently got a full-time job, and it has obviously kept me busy. And I have other responsibilities to fulfill instead of making videos, so I just haven't. So it's been a little while. I don't think I personally have any obligation to myself to make stuff, but I will continue to, just because that's me. That boring bit out of the way. This right here is my newest project. This is another MOC diorama that I built. As you can tell here, this is the road to Poland. That is supposed to be a representation of the 1939 German invasion of Poland that was also in tandem with the Soviet Union. This, technically speaking, was what people recognize as the start of the Second World War. And I'll explain more about how I built this and all the things is it. So that's like all the things to it, but that's more of like the boring history synopsis sort of. People generally, like I said, recognize the invasion of Poland as the start of the Second World War, though there were conflicts that were happening in the East that technically were setting kindling for the fire, so to speak, that were actually arguably more important. But there's a whole history thing there, and I arguably actually don't even know enough to be able to make a point on any of that. But people generally recognize the invasion of Poland as like sort of the straw that broke the camel's back. This here is my Invasion of Poland MOC, like I mentioned. It's a representation of a German tank that is moving on a Polish road toward the capital. The Germans met some resistance, but not resistance comparable to their armed forces from the brave Polish army. I did want to do a Polish tank for this one, to be able to do like a Polish and German tank face-off. I still have plans, tentatively, to make a Polish tank. Probably the 7TP is, I believe, what it's called, the Polish 7-ton tank, that was based off the British 6-tonner. I have plans to design that, and I've actually been working on some prototypes, though not even close to enough to even make a prototype video on it yet, though I'm getting around to that. But as for the MOC itself, it's very, very small. I'm practicing doing smaller MOCs because I don't have enough pieces to make tremendously ambitious ones, and I prefer to make small ones. And using the elements that I have prefabricated, this MOC actually in itself came up like all together in about a day, which was really surprising because usually it takes longer for that. But the things that I've done to preemptively build them have made them pre-designed. I spent time to sort and manage my minifigure pieces, and I spent time to design preemptively this tank, which I already, like I said, I have tutorials on my channel. So this tank has already been pre-designed, and I pretty much just had to build the road and the base plate, and everything else was finished. So I'm gonna give a little spin around here. I think it's a really neat looking MOC. I really enjoyed it. I tried to do some sort of non-standard colors with this red tree over here because the invasion took place in, I believe it was September. It was about 35 days over the course of the beginning of September. I think it started on the 1st, as far as I know, to October. And it was a somewhat quick takedown of Poland, all things considered, because of the might of the Wehrmacht and how they implemented their famous Blitzkrieg tactic, which is still referenced in military history today. There's a little bit more to the story of what can be seen from the MOC here as well. So I'll start with this vehicle. This is the Panzer 38T, as people may recognize it and already know from my videos. It is annexed Czech armor. So before the invasion of Poland, there was conflict in Czechoslovakia in which the Germans, as far as I know, came in and took over their armaments plants and stole some of their armor. So this tells even a story before that. So the invasion of Poland was before France and after Czechoslovakia. So to put Czech armor in my Polish MOC, I felt like was appropriate. This is just tailpipe piece, just sits on there. But this is just my Panzer 38T. It's really not too novel. I just redesigned it for the MOC. I'm very, very happy with this tank. It's one of my best models. I think it's very simple, it's very neat, and it looks very clean. I changed a few tiny little bits of color and tried some printed tiles and things on it just with the resources I had. And I did put a half minifigure in the top of this just to experiment to put a Panzer Commander in it because I'd never done that before. But other than that, it's the same tank. It has this little hatch feature I mentioned before that people have already seen. I did like a tow cable and some detail and stuff, but I just purely redesigned it for my Invasion of Poland MOC, but I think it looks pretty nice. And then, like I said, I did this little bit of smoke here for the engine just because it was idling. But the MOC actually represents is like I said, a German annex check armor, German tank on a road into Poland toward the capital. But right here, I have, this is a Wehrmacht foot soldier and then the driver of the Panzer 38T, and they are moving a barricade. This is an old barricade design of mine that I had. And I designed it back in the day for a World War I project, actually. But I had that out, so I had, like, you know, my tank prefabricated, I had this already designed, and I had my guys already designed. So it was really easy to kind of put this MOC together, and I'll talk about the road in just a minute here. This is my prefabricated barricade design. I think it's pretty nice. The driver here and this other soldier, this gun keeps falling off, they're stepping out of the way to move the obstacles. There were some areas in Poland where they didn't meet very much resistance, so I imagined a scenario in which they were bringing armor into a spot, and there was merely just a road barricade in an abandoned section there. So they were just moving stuff out of the way. Like I said, I wanted to do a combat MOC in which there was like a tank-on-tank combat or like some infantry stuff, but I didn't have the pieces for that, and I haven't designed my 7TP yet, though I would like to, but no promises. So instead, I just made like a little scene showing them moving it off the road and clearing the roads to Poland. The actual road in itself was really interesting to design. It's a very simple design, but I think it holds up pretty well. This technique, known generally in the LEGO community, is called SNOT, which it stands for studs not on top. I built this road sideways, measured out to the middle of the bricks. There's no flexing here. This all is actually to standard brick size. And then I just implemented pieces going up and down, connected different ways to make the road look like it was cracked, or you could put bricks on it. So it's pretty nice. It connects very nicely, and that's real snug. And I think the contrast is pretty cool. It makes a smooth road. I could have put some studs on here facing with like the headlight bricks and stuff to stand the guys on, but I like the way that it sat. And then that's really about it. Like I said, there's a little red tree for some color contrast, and there's these little bits of grass. And I tried to, like I said, use a little more like autumn colors because the invasion took place in September. But other than that, that is about all there is to the MOC. Like I said, it really came up pretty fast. It wasn't that hard to make, really. But it was really enjoyable, and it tells a fun little story, sort of like, I mean, not a fun story, but it definitely tells an interesting story with using the annex check armor, showing sort of the how some of the places met less resistance than others, and also showing the seasons and stuff too. And I had really just had a lot of fun putting this together. So with that being said, like what I said at the beginning of the video, obviously I'm a little busier these days, but I still enjoy making these things so much, and I still plan to be making things for my YouTube channel in case anyone's asking. But the same point always stands, that I will never have a consistent upload schedule as far as I know. And I will always just make things for fun. But this was really fun for me to make and to put together. I was thinking it'd be fun to kind of do like a sort of like a iconic moments from World War II MOC series, in which you start in Poland, or you start in Nanking, or any of those earlier conflicts, and then you go all the way through all of them, and you could do like an invasion of France. I'd like to do an invasion of France one, and then you could do a Pacific Islands one, and I'm kind of just building my repertoire to be able to design more of these things. But as of right now, this is what I made. But like I said, I would like to do a bigger invasion of Poland one with a Polish tank or some Polish armor or infantry or something. But as of now, this is what I have here. This is my Road to Poland MOC. It was really fun to build, and it's always fun to share. It's always a delight of mine to share. I'm glad I found some time today to be able to share this, because I built it real fast and I really enjoyed it, but I wanted to get a chance to show it off and talk a little bit more. I have a few more projects that I am genuinely working on for my channel, in case anyone's curious. I'm not trying to make any promises and try to overshoot things. That's why I don't really talk about things that I am really going to work on. But I do have a few things that I'm kind of trying to put together that I think will be a little more ambitious than this. But this is so much fun for me to do. I thought it would still be fun to build and to feature. So that's all for me today. This is just a little update sort of on how I'm doing. I'm obviously, everyone on YouTube always is like, "Oh, are you dead?" Like, no, I'm still alive. I'm just busy. I just have a life, but I do genuinely enjoy still my Lego projects, and this was fun to put together, and I thought it would be fun to share. So for anyone who's watching this video, I hope you have a delightful day, afternoon, evening, anywhere you are, and I will catch you guys in the next video, whenever that may be. Have a nice day.